Welcome to another exciting video. Today we're going to look at using the quadratic formula to solve a quadratic. And we're also going to look at how to simplify that and how to check. So first of all, the question here is find the zeros of this function. So when you go to factor it, which is the easiest way, you're setting it equal to 0. And factoring x squared minus 2x minus 17, obviously there's no factors of negative 17 to add up to negative 2. So you have to use the quadratic formula here. So the solutions for x are negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So a is 1, b is negative 2, and c is negative 17. So just plug them in. We have negative 2 plus or minus b squared. Try not to do this on your calculator. A lot of times you'll get the wrong result if you don't use parentheses right. So just square it in your head. It's easier. Negative 2 squared is positive 4. That should always be a positive number right here. Minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is negative 17. The sign for that one is really important. Sign for all of them are really important. So now I have 2 plus or minus. We have 4 minus 4 times a negative 17 is negative 68. That's a negative there. So it's going to be minus a negative. In other words, 2 plus or minus 72. So most people, if you do mess up on these problems, most people do it missing the minus and negative and that stuff. So just be careful. This is it. Now we're going to simplify it. So we're going to agree on a standard way to simplify. The first thing you're going to do is simplify the square root of 72. So there's two ways to do it. A lot of people are like really good at looking for a perfect square that goes into 72. So it's like 4, 9, 16, anything, 2 squared, 3 squared, 4 squared, 5 squared, 25, 36, and so on. So I came up to 36, and it looks like 36 is probably the biggest, definitely the biggest perfect square that goes into 72. So 72 is 36 times 2, and the square root of 36 is 6, so you can make this 2 plus or minus 6, root 2 over 2. We're not done yet, but just for those of you who don't like searching for perfect squares, you can also do it this way. I'm sure you were taught this. So instead of thinking of this as 36 times 2, make a factor tree. Start with 2 and keep breaking it down all the way. 36 is 2 times 18. 18 is 2 times 9, and 9 is 3 times 3. So what you want to do here is circle, since it's a square root, circle all of the factors that happen twice. That's what goes on the outside of your root. So I circle a pair of 2's, and I circle a pair of 3's. So only include one of those. So since I paired the 2's, I have a 2 here. I paired the 3's, I have a 3 here. This is what goes on the outside of your square root. Inside the square root is whatever you didn't circle and multiply everything together. So I only didn't circle this 1, 2, so that's what's inside. So this square root of 72 simplifies into 6 root 2, which I had here. So you can see it's a lot easier to, a lot quicker at least, to come up with the perfect squares that go into 72. But if you're uncomfortable doing that, this works all the time. So anyhow, we're not done yet. This is going to be definitely reducible. What I like to do on these is there's a plus or minus up here. So it's a fraction with two terms up top and one factor on the bottom, you can always split that up. So let's do that. So you'll go 2 over 2 plus or minus 6 root 2 over 2. Because now it's going to be really easy to simplify. 2 divided by 2 is 1. And now you can see this 2 down here. You can only reduce it with whatever's not in the square root. So 6 divided by 2 is 3, root 2. So that's going to be the two answers. 1 plus 3 root 2 and 1 minus 3 root 2. So we're done. Now I'm going to show you a check here. It's worth sticking around for this because you want to know you did this right. So I'm going to graph this function and look for the zeros. So my zeros are here and here. So second, calculate 2 for 0. This one first. You can do it with the cursor, but I can clearly see what numbers it's between. So the left bound, I'm going to do like negative. It can be anything over here as long as it's in the screen. So -6. Right bound, I'm going to do 0. As long as you don't pass the other 0, you're going to be good. And my guess, I'm just going to put enter. And that is my answer, -3.24. So let me just highlight that. I lost my cursor. And then I'm going to do the other one. I'll let you do the other one. So one of my zeros is -3.2426. So I'm going to check it with this. Since it's negative, I'm pretty sure it's this bottom one here. So on my calculator, I'm going to calculate 1 minus 3 root 2. So quit out of here. Whoa. 1 minus 3 root 2. And there you go. That should be the answer we got earlier on. And you can see it was. You can see there is a little discrepancy here. Is there? No, there isn't. This has just more decimal places. So that's it.